What are you listening to?
The Get to Know podcast.
You're listening to the Get to Know podcast. Get to know.
What's happening, guys? It's Liam, and you're listening to the Get to Know podcast. Big up yourself if you're locked in. Now, my guest today is an up-and-coming rapper, really talented. He's got a big tune out right now, Timo Werner. Check that out. He goes by the name of Bowdz. Now, it's a great conversation, man. He's really down-to-earth guy, really passionate about music, and I really wish the best for him. We spoke about how he got into music, his influences, who he rates right now. Yeah, and I really enjoyed this, so stay tuned. You're locked into the Get to Know podcast, and I'm joined by Bowdz. Bowdz, how you doing, bro?
Hey, Sam, man, I'm good, bro. How about yourself?
Yeah, man, really good, really good. Thanks a lot for coming on, man. I'm really excited to film this with you.
Oh, thanks for having me, my guy. I'm looking forward to
No
it.
problem, man. Good, man, good. All right, so recently we've just had the lockdown, and I know you're in London, back into Tier 3. How's it been for you recently?
I'm so done with this corona thing, bro. I swear down. I can't lie. I'm not like, just get over it, bro.
Yeah, it's a bit of a myth now, isn't it?
A myth, man. What about yourself?
Yeah, man, same. It's just locked down, isn't it? Like, there's not really much to do, but I don't know, man. I'm getting through it, but yeah, I'm done with it, man.
Bro,
Can't lie.
it's Christmas, isn't it? Like, bro, it's just long, isn't it, man?
Oh,
Oh,
Christmas is the time. Christmas is usually so fun, isn't it? Like this time of year, parties, like Christmas Eve motives, but now
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah, for real, bro. It's a myth, man. It's a myth. Anyways.
All right, man. So to start things off, we're gonna go into the quick fire round. So I'm gonna ask a series of questions. I'll give you two options, so you just gotta pick the one
Cool.
that you prefer. All right. Okay, so we'll go into this now. So first question: English or maths?
Oh, I was good at both, you know. I think if I
Yeah.
had to pick one, I would slightly say maths. I enjoyed it more, but I'm equally as good at them.
Okay.
Okay,
Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi, easy.
Films or TV series?
Films,
Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Cats or dogs?
Oh, fuck, that's a hard one as well. I'm gonna say dogs, but I love them both.
Yeah, same. Apple or Android?
Apple,
Nike or Adidas?
Adidas,
Kanye West or Jay-Z?
Jay-Z,
Biggie or Tupac?
Biggie,
Spider-Man or Batman?
Spider-Man,
Instagram or Twitter?
Twitter.
Finally, winter or summer?
Normally winter, but obviously this year is a write-off because like you can't really do it properly because of Corona and that. But I'd say winter.
Why winter?
Do you know what? It's Christmas, isn't it? After Christmas, winter's so dead, and I hate it. And January, February is the worst 2 months of the year. They're so dead. But winter from like October to December is lit, and then after that, there's just nothing going on until like April, when it's like springtime and that.
Yeah, get a bit of sunshine and weather starts to warm up a little bit. I hear that. All right, man. So getting into things, talk to me about you growing up and how you got into music.
Um, I've always kind of been into music, to be honest with you. Like it's always been like the first time I heard a song that made me deep that like music's important to me was um because I always just used to love music in it. Like when I was a kid, I always used to like for Christmas and stuff. Every Christmas, I'd ask for like a new stereo or CD player or something, and like a couple CDs. And then one time, my dad must have called me downstairs. I must have been like 6 or 7 years old, no older than that. And he was like, yeah, listen to this, you'll like this one. And my dad just got like a new computer in the house and stuff. He was just trying to use it. And he was like, he showed me 50 Cent and the game, Hey or Love It. And that's the first time I remember. I was like, yeah, I was like, that's hard. Like, I remember the music video and all that, and I was like, yeah, I want to do that. And since then, it's always just kind of been a thing, innit? Like, it's just then, and like going up into secondary schools and shit. Like, so wait, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, going up into secondary schools and stuff. Like, my form tutor was a music teacher, so he encouraged it a lot as well, and he taught me how to like play the piano and stuff. And so from there, I was just like, I was always involved in music. I was always doing music with him. I was always like writing music. And like he would always ask me to like perform in like the school talent shows and stuff, like with bars and stuff. So I was just I've been used to doing it from young, to be honest with you. I've even got some pictures of me when I was like 11 years old up on a stage and shit. It's actually jokes.
Yeah. So you've been writing and spitting bars since you were 11?
I would say 11. Yeah, I'd say 11.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
So, who were your musical influences?
The first, because I'm a bit of a grime head, innit? Like growing up, it was just always grime. I even started my music journey with grime. So, the first ever grime song I heard, and that's what really clicked for me, was Skepta, King of Grime. Like he was the one who kicked it all off, like in terms of me knowing that this is where I belong and this is what I'm trying to do. It was Skepta, song King of Grime, and there was only 2 other people that I knew that song. I would always bump it. It was a mad thing. And from there, and then after Skepta, because Skepta was like the first ever grime artist I ever found out about. And then obviously after that, I was looking into it. I was going on YouTube, just grime, and seeing what would come up. And obviously there was Kano. He's up there. Skepta and Kano are my 2 like top. JME's up there as well. Chip, Ghetto, or Gets he's called now. And then obviously the newer gen, when I was growing up myself and writing my own music, but obviously before I was releasing anything. But then there was obviously the Stormzy's, the AJ Tracy's, the Meridian Dans, and all them man there. And yeah, it was just like that second wave of grime as well. It's just But yeah, no, the number one always will be the number one is Skepta.
So this music teacher, like, did they encourage you to actually write bars? And talk to me about the influence they had on you starting music.
Yeah. I mean, so because when I was actually younger, I wanted to be an actor. And so when I was in year 6, you know, they always do like a year 6 end of school production thing, and I was one of the main characters in that. And he came to see that, and he liked me as a performer. So when I was in his form tutor, he already knew a little bit about me and knew that I was a bit of a performer and all that stuff. So he was like to me, yeah, like I know you're talented, this and that. And then he saw that I could play a little bit of the piano, so he taught me how to play it properly. And he knew that I wrote music, and he was just like, yeah, like he always encouraged it and all of that stuff. He was like, yeah, like I want you to do music, I want you to be the best you can be. We had a good relationship, so it was always just like anything with him. It was just like, if I ever had any troubles or difficulties at school and stuff, he would always encourage me to try and like just put that energy into music, focus into music, whether it's the piano, whether it's the drums, whether it's the trombone, because for some reason I know how to play the trombone, or whether it's like writing it down into music. And I was just like, fair enough. And he just taught me the art of studying it and like reading it and all of that stuff to just understand the technical side.
So how many instruments do you play?
I play 3, which is the piano, the drums, and then the trombone, because in primary school they just gave us all brass instruments for something. I don't know what that was about. And I play 3, and I'm currently trying to learn the guitar, but it's not going too well, I'm going to be honest with you.
Why is that?
You know what, yeah. It's just not meant for some people, innit? Like, it's just not meant for some people. I'm just not one of them people, man.
Nah, I hear that. You know what, I actually played guitar when I was young for a little bit. It was one of those where my dad was just like, because he's a guitar player, and he was like, oh, if you had to play an instrument, what would it be? And I was just like, oh, guitar. It wasn't even like I went to him and it's like, yo, I want to play guitar. It was just like, he wanted me to play an instrument. At the time, I just wanted to play football, but yeah, it lasted a few years. But
yeah, I hear that. No, that's crazy. That's crazy. I can't, like, guitar is so lit, man. I wish I learned it from young as well.
Yeah, sick instrument to learn, definitely. Yeah. Just not for me. So what happened with the acting? Do you still do that, or did you lose interest?
Nah. I lost interest. It's not that I wouldn't do it now. It's just that like pursuing a career in it is long, and like I say, like because I always thought it was acting, when I realised actually it's not acting, it's more just being a performer, and that ended up leaking into music, which is where my true passion and talent lies. Do you know what?
Yeah.
I would happily do acting. I'd love to do acting in like a movie and stuff, but in terms of studying it and doing like, I'm not a theatre actor. I wouldn't want to act in a theatre like that. I would rather be on TV or in a movie sort of thing. So I would do that sort of like what Kano done, where obviously he made his name as a rapper, but now he's a star in Top Boy. That's what, like, I would love that in it, but not. It's not like I don't want to be going to auditions and trying to become an actor like that. That doesn't really interest me. It's just like, I'll do acting as a secondary thing, not as a primary thing.
And how sick was Kano in Top Boy, man?
Mate, he's fucking wavy, bruv. He's the hardest character in the whole show. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, definitely.
So wavy.
Yeah, man, it's mad how well he's taken to it, man.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. Like, bro, like you see, like artists all the time try to branch out and do acting, and sometimes they're like it's natural to him. Like obviously with Stormzy and Brotherhood, innit? Like obviously his character was a bit of a comical guy, but you can see acting was not natural. Whereas with Kano, it's just too easy for him. Same with Dave as well. Dave went hard as well in Top Boy. It just seems natural to them, man.
Yeah, I was just about to say if Dave was sick, man. Like I was getting like Joker vibes from his character. He
played it proper well, man.
I'm disappointed that he's gone, man.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, they'll probably bring back another artist or something for the next series or something and get some of them to. I'm gassed for Top Boy, to be honest. I can't wait for this. Yeah,
same. You see, they started filming as well.
Yeah, they started filming again. I can't lie. Yeah, I'm just gassed for it. I love the whole thing, the whole UK scene, like whether it's music and then music leaking into acting. Anything that's UK, I'm repping it. I promise you now, it doesn't matter. Anything that's UK, I'm on it.
So, with the performing, how did you actually how did you actually get into doing it? Because there's having the idea but then there's actually having the confidence to actually go out there and do it. So how did that come about? Was it difficult?
What, in regards to music?
Yeah.
I don't know, when I was younger, like, you don't really think about embarrassment or shame, innit? So I was up just getting on stage doing it and just like, didn't really care up until I was about 14. And I kind of stopped a bit. And I was like, because obviously when you're 14, you start growing up, you start worrying about what people think about you and all that stuff, and girls and all of that shit. So yeah, like, it wasn't really on my mind like that. But then when I got to about 17, like, I remember going through a bit of a hard time. And I remember just like I bought myself a little electric piano and just started playing it, like, as a way to just like take my mind off shit or whatever. And I started, after like playing the actual piano, then I start writing music to what I've just played on the piano, and all of a sudden I come up with a song, and it was a good song. And I remember I showed two of my friends, and both of them said, like, I can't lie, when your friend shows you music and you think it's going to be shit, and it was like, it wasn't shit, this was fucking hard, like, this was a mad thing. And I was like, are you sure? You're just saying that? And they was like, no, that's fucking hard. I was like, okay. So from there, it kind of just built in it. Like, I went from making them types of music to this was all like nothing ever released. And then one day, after I'd showed a few people this and that, and wrote a little few things here and there, I showed one of my boys something, like, it was like a video of me on Snapchat or something like that I recorded myself spitting, and it was to the JME instrumental. The song's called P. It's a remix of the Rhythm and Gash instrumental, and
yeah, I know that.
Yeah, I put my remix of it. And he was like, "Oh, that's fucking hard. Drop it on Twitter. Drop it on Instagram. Drop it on Twitter." I was like, "Why? Like, it's not that deep." And he was like, "Just drop it. I was like, "All right, fine. I'll drop that one then." And I put it on there, and I didn't expect nothing of it. I went to sleep. I woke up, and bear in mind that this time I had like 200, 300 followers on Twitter, and it had gotten like 80 retweets and like 200 likes. And to me at the time, that was like the most I'd ever got. And I was like, bro, what? I was like, people like that one, swear down. And he was like, yeah, and I gained like 20 or 30 followers from it. And I was like, oh, that's kind of lit. So from there, I kind of just went, you know what, like, fuck it, let's see what sort of reception I get if I keep dropping like little teasers here and there. So I dropped some, and the next one got like 100 retweets, and the next one got 150 retweets, and then I dropped that Thiago Silva one, and it got like 200 retweets. And I was like, okay, I'm kind of like, I can see people think I'm good. Let me actually drop that. So then I dropped Fire in the Car as my first like freestyle on YouTube, like proper freestyle. And yeah, people seem to like it. So from there, I just thought, fuck it.
No, that's sick, man. Like, So with you, it's obviously quite organic. You know, you've done it for a long time, and you know, you just explained there. You know, you just explored your music, and it got a good reception. But with social media, it makes things easier to be seen, which is great. But do you think now, in this day and age, maybe clout is as valuable as talent, and maybe it's because it's harder for people with talent to kind of achieve because clout plays such an important role?
I mean, absolutely, but at the same time, I think that's always been the case, just in different forms, because reputation is always going to be something that gives you leverage. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the simple fact of it is, if you don't want a bad reputation, don't give yourself a bad reputation. Like, back in the day, if it was 15 years ago and people were handing out CDs outside JD Sports and stuff, like, as they used to do as a way to get their name heard or all of that stuff, if people knew your name, let's say there's a guy called, I don't know, Bowdz. I'm just going to give a random name because I don't want to name drop someone. Like, let's say there's a guy called Bowdz, he's a rapper, and he's handing out a CD. But if everybody knew this guy as a guy that was like, he spoke to underage girls or something, he's still like, it doesn't matter how good he is, like, no one's gonna fuck with him. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's always been a thing. I think it's just social media makes it easier for people to have reputation, like, or to not have reputation, to have a bad reputation. Either way, to be honest with you, like, I feel like it's all the same thing, just times that by 100 to what it used to be. So it's still all in the same sort of proportion. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. So with you, what's the creative process like? I mean, could you just say, all right, this afternoon I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write some bars, or is it more, you know, it'll just come to you and you think, oh, okay, I need to sit down and do something?
It's interesting you asked me that, because for a long time, it's been the latter. It's been, I can't just sit down and write. I have to wait for something to come to me, and once it comes to me, I need to take the opportunity and grab it and then turn it into music. But like, I felt like that started to become a bit of an excuse, and a bit like just being lazy a little bit, as like, because I go studio all the time, because two of my boys, they're producers, so we work together, all three of us, so we make songs together, us three. So they produce the beat, and then I make the song out of it. So but they'd always ask me, okay, this beat's hard, do you think you can get something down for it? And I'd be like, no, I don't write like that, bro, I don't write like that. And it's just too, like, I don't like that, innit? Like, when I thought of it, I don't think there's a skill on this planet that can't be developed. Like, you can develop it, you can learn it, you can teach yourself. So I thought, after that, I decided, like, I'm going to start writing on the spot, like, because if you can only do something when you're motivated, then it's not for you. You need to be disciplined and do it even at the times you don't want to, or you don't think you can. Like, that's just how it works. No one ever made it anywhere by just being purely motivated, because it's just not possible to always be motivated to do something. It's just simple as that. No matter how much you love it, it's not possible to be motivated 24/7. So you have to be willing to do it even when you're not. And even if I write something and then turn around the next day and look back at it and go, I don't really like it, I still got something to know that I want to change it, as opposed to just not having nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? It just makes it easier knowing what path you're on and all of that stuff. So yeah,
exactly, because you're still making progress in it, even if you've written some bars that you don't like.
Yeah, exactly. Like I say, bro, if I get something down and then a day later I look back at it and go, no, that's cheesy, or the flow don't bang, or that's too forced, at least I know that, and I can change that into something that isn't too forced, or isn't cheesy, or it does bang. And now, all of a sudden, out of me forcing myself to do something, I've got a banging verse that I can slap on a banging song, and it will do well. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
All right, so speaking of songs, so, you know, Timo Werner's recently come out. Big tune, man. Very big tune. I'm a fan.
Tune, my guy.
I'm a real nice guy. When my bro come through, that's curtains. Yeah, said that your goons them bad, my guy. We'll see who's better in person. And I don't do guns or knives, cause my bro might grip that burner. Spin round and a speedy German, one shot bang like Timo Werner. Aye, who's that, what's that? Talk better than bad, you're not that. Got a bro off a bro on arm, so bro might cop that, grab it and pop that. Might cop that, grab it and squeeze it. So I don't do rap, so your girlfriend's back, so time man's grabbing and squeezing. Me and T can't grab a man, leave him. So we whitewash man like Purcell. My team don't do acting, trust me, we don't do no rehearsal. I'm a big man, but I'm not 30. That's straight hands when I'm Merkel. So you know I don't mean 4-4 when I say that I gotta stay 2 times Virgil van Dijk. Man, I'm on a patch, that's purple, that's dry. Big balls back with a bang, I'm that guy. X marks a spot the cross on his head, so you'll watch the prick get baptized. Yeah, that's right. Don't want to smoke when I fuck that. Big man, where your 4-door trucks at? Yeah, we already know I'm a good G. You don't wanna meet my guy with a rucksack. But wait, you really know what it is. How many times did a man say how many times and he still got caught on the strip?
Talk to me about how the idea for that came.
That was a funny story. So I play a bit of FIFA. I'm a little bit good at FIFA. So last year, on FIFA 20, it was on my ultimate team. I had a German league team, and Timo Werner was obviously smashing it in the German league. And I don't know if you play ultimate team, but ultimate team like reflects real life performances. So if they're doing well in real life, they'll get like an inform player or something.
Yeah.
Player of the month. And Timo Werner must have got 2 player of the month. So I got both of them player of the month cards. And he was just banging like every single game, just bang a goal, bang a goal, bang a goal. And like every time he scored, I don't know where it came from, but I'd always go one shot, bang, and then it turned into one shot, bang, that Timo Werner, one shot, bang, that team. And all of a sudden, during the beginning of lockdown, actually, like the first lockdown, like way back in like May, it was at this point. My boy was living up in Notts on his own in his uni accom, because he had the whole house to himself, and like everyone else had gone home other than him. So I moved. So he came back to London, and then he went back up, and he asked me to go up with him. So I went up there to live. And when we was on the train, I was there kind of like free. I was listening to instrumental. I was freestyling, and all of a sudden, grip that burner, spin around in a speedy German one shot, bang, like Timo Werner. I was like, that's fucking hard. I was like, that's catchy as shit. And I said it to my boy T. And I was like, hey T, hear this. I was like, it was the one that grip that burner, and he was like, oh, that's fucking hard. The whole team, because he knew every time I played him on FIFA, I was there shouting one shot, bang, like Timo Werner. So he knew already that it was a thing. And then from there, like when I was in Notts, we'd just be listening to instrumentals on the big speakers in the living room. And it was just, I would freestyle, find something good, write it down, get it. Freestyle, write it down, good. All of a sudden, like after about 2 weeks of doing that, we had a banger, and yeah, it was lit.
Sick. And how have you found the reception, and how has it done against your expectations?
Oh, crazy, bro. Like when I first dropped it on, so I first dropped a snippet on Twitter. When we made the instrumental to that, we wasn't making an instrumental for that. Hadn't even written the song yet. All I had at that point was one shot, bang, like Timo Werner, like the hook. I'd actually even leased a different instrumental for that song. So I've even got an instrumental that I've leased that I was going to use for that song. But then I was at the studio with my boys, and they was like, yeah, I want you to write something for this. And I was like, I've already got something. Let me just try it out, see how it sounds. And I spat it, and I was like, yeah, that's hard. And it kind of just became that. So we recorded a little snippet on that day, just like the first 30, 40 seconds of it. And prior to dropping it on Twitter, because Twitter's my main source, is not Instagram for me. To be honest, I need to up my Instagram like usage, because that's a big market, but that's a different convo. But so before I put it on Twitter, my highest amount of retweets that I'd ever got on something was like 200 retweets. It was on my Thiago Silva remix, which people seem to like. So then when I dropped that, I remember like I put it on Twitter, because I don't really tend to think too much about numbers. Like the way I see it is, like, I'm talented. People will see that one day. Eventually, I'll be where I gotta be. It's like one way or another, I'll get where I gotta be. So I don't really think about numbers too much. So I wasn't there like waiting to see who's retweeting it and DMing it to people trying to get. I don't really do that. I kind of just drop it. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. So I dropped it, went downstairs. I don't remember what I did downstairs. Maybe ate dinner or something like that. Came back upstairs, and after 30 minutes, it had got like 100 retweets and like 200 likes. And I was like, fucking hell, like that's a mad thing, like in 30 minutes. And then I was a bit gassed because everyone was going, fucking hell, this is hard. And then it just exploded in it, and it went viral. It got like over 1,000 retweets, over 3,000, 4,000 likes, whatever it is, I don't know. And like it just, the reception it got was a mad thing. Everyone was just like, there was only like, obviously you get a few people that are going, oh, this is shit, and I fucking hate this type of music. But like 98% of it was people just breading me off, like, this is fucking hard, and this guy's sick, and all that stuff. So I was like, say no more. And then I gave a date, October 16th, which is mad because I dropped that snippet the first week of September, and I thought waiting 6 weeks might mean I lose a little bit of capital, but I didn't. Like, it made anticipation just build and build and build. Like, people were saying one shot bang like Timo Werner before I'd ever even released the song. Like, people was just using it as a term. That's fucking catchy. One shot bang. If you go on Twitter and search up one shot bang like Timo Werner, the amount of people that have just written it, like when he scores a goal or something like that, is crazy, bro. It gasses me every time. So yeah, then the song dropped and it done proper well. And then after doing so well in the first week, it got put on like one of those Spotify algorithmic playlists, and then that kind of just propelled it, and it's now sitting on like almost 40K on Spotify, I believe. Which honestly, like when I tell you, before I released anything, I was sitting there thinking 10K is a good, like that's a very good return. 10K would be like, I can't even imagine that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, as my first
Yeah.
my debut release, 10K, that's gassed. Like I'm gassed off that. But yeah, it's now sitting on nearly 40K. I've had like A&Rs and radio stations hit me up about it and all that stuff. So at this point, I just gotta keep the ball rolling and drop some more shit, man.
Definitely, man. And congratulations on that success, man. Well deserved.
I appreciate that, man.
Like, that's how I first heard of you. Like I saw that snippet, and then I remember, yeah, and then when the tune dropped on the day, that's when I saw the full link and I clicked it. I was like, okay. And then, funny enough, yeah, I remember the next day I was in the pub with some of my mates, and he was watching the Chelsea game, and then he got his first 2 Premier League goals like on the next day. The next day, and I was no word of a lie. I thought of that tune. I was like, that is mad, like.
Bro, you don't understand. I was in the studio on that day, yeah, and when that happened, Timo Werner bagged a goal, because I was literally saying, I was like, if Timo Werner bags a goal today, like this is written in the stars, isn't it? Like his first Premier League goals, and I dropped it, and literally the whole of Twitter exploded. If you search it up for that date, one shot bang or whatever it is, bang like Timo Werner, because that was never a saying before I dropped it. Like that was never a thing until I dropped it. So when I dropped it, it was one shot bang. Everyone was just going one shot bang like Timo. You could scroll for like hours, and it was just bare people saying one shot bang like Timo Werner. I was like, that's a mad thing. And then he went and scored again. And I was like, nah, this is just too good to be true. It's just free promo, isn't it? Every time he scores a goal, like everyone's just spitting the bar. It's just crazy.
He went on a little purple patch after that as well. I think he got like 5 and 8 or something like that.
Yeah. And then since then, he's been shit, but we don't talk about that.
So how have you found it? How have you dealt with, the success, and how you make sure you stay grounded, and what's important for you now, having done so well?
To be honest, like I don't see it as nothing like that. To be honest, I mean it's nice. Like don't get me wrong, I do get DMs, people going like, "Oh, you're fucking hard" and all that stuff, and you're sick. Da, 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 da. But like it's not really. It's still nothing yet. Do you know what I mean? Not that the support is nothing. The support is amazing. That's what keeps me going. But in regards to like staying grounded and stuff, like it's not even close to something that I could ever get carried away with. Not yet. Like this is just the beginning. And to be honest, like I say, as me as a person, I know a lot of people say this, like prior to being famous or successful, whatever you want to say. But me as a person, I'm not really gassed off of that sort of stuff anyway, like attention or that sort of stuff. So staying grounded for me is kind of like I feel like it's always going to be like that, just because, like, don't get me wrong, like numbers are nice, but they're not the be all and end all. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I do get 10 million streams, I'll be gassed. I'll be like, oh my God, 10 mil, that's amazing. Da, 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 da. But what I'll be more focused on is, what does this mean for me? What opportunities do I now have because of this? The exposure, have I been exposed to the right people? That sort of thing. It's more of a business sort of mindset, more than oh, I'm famous, look at me, everyone loves me. So, yeah, I mean, it has been nice. Like I say, it's been good, like receiving a lot of love and stuff, but I'm humble with it. It just means a lot to me more than anything else.
Sick, man. So, one thing that you say in there, and you've mentioned it before in other tunes, you say that, I'm not using guns or knives. Now, is that a message that you make like an effort to include? Or is it something that you consciously do? Yeah,
a little bit. I mean, I think one of the issues with UK music is that people only want to hear you if you're talking about shit that's not good for no one. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm the same. I love listening to music like that as well. Like, I listen to drill, I listen to grime and all that stuff. Like, it's fucking wavy. Like, people saying like, bruv, I don't even, like, there's so many ridiculously foul bars, but they're the ones that get you hyped, innit? So I thought, like, before I even done music, I always thought to myself, I'm not going to sit there and lie. I'm not going to sit there and talk about shit that I'm not on. Like, I'll tell the truth and everything. I'm not going to lie and be like, yeah, I'll come to your yard and I'll burst you, because I'm not going to do that. Like, however, I know people that could, them ones. But, like, no, on a real one though, it's like, yeah, like I feel like making music like give you that same feeling of that sort of getting gassed Because like when you listen to drill and people are talking about like guns and knives and dipping man on mains and all of that stuff and how many times did the man do this, like it gets you gassed. Like that's the whole point of it. You get hyped because it's like, oh, that's a whole bad boy attitude. It's like, yeah, all of this stuff. It gets you hyped. It's like that's fucking hard. So my aim is to kind of give people that same feeling, but not promote that sort of shit because I don't stand for that sort of shit. I'm not gonna sit there and talk about knives and guns when A, I don't fuck with them, and B, I don't really like. Obviously, like I just don't like. It's not me in it. It's just not me. But obviously, growing up in ends and stuff, you're around it anyways, and like it's not like out of my reality, but it's just not my personal choice to use that shit. Me personally, if I'm ever gonna have a problem with somebody, we deal with it left and right. You know what I'm saying? That's how that is. But yeah, no, I do. I make the effort to try and give that same feeling of the whole like get you hyped, but as well as the message, like. But I'm going to be honest with myself. That's not me. I don't do guns or knives, but I still want you to feel as gassed as you would as if I would have said something about guns or knives. And that's why a lot of the song is like I say, but my bro might grip that burner, spin round ED German, one shot bang like Timo Werner. That the whole point of that is like more than anything, more than bro might grip that burner, like spin round in a speedy German and then one shot bang like Timo Werner. That's a metaphor, isn't it? It's a metaphor for Timo Werner being a fast German player who's going to score after one shot. Like that's what that is. That's just what the bar is. But obviously the other side of that bar is spin round in a speedy German car, one shot bang, which is obviously a gun, Timo Werner. So I'm not completely against the whole guns and knives stuff because, like I say, it's not really out of my reality for that to have been like I've been around that stuff in my life, just knowing people and being around certain people and all that stuff. But I'm not gonna lie about it and say that's what I'm on because it's not. It's just not. So yeah.
With the Timo Werner tune, do you reckon he's heard it?
Nah, I don't think so.
Nah.
I'll be glad he did because a lot of people were like when it first came out, a lot of people were atting him or atting Chelsea and being all like, yeah, like you got to use this in a comp or something. But obviously, I'm an Arsenal fan, as you can see up here on my Arsenal. So I'm an Arsenal fan, so I wasn't really trying to push for that to be honest because. If I got a Chelsea cosign, it would be like bittersweet. It'd be like it's lit that I'm getting exposure, but Chelsea. So yeah.
So the tune, if you don't know, that's a big tune, and big tune. So I love the tune, but I also love the tweet to JME asking to use his flow beforehand. Talk to me about that.
Okay, again, that's a funny one. So JME did this thing. I think it was 2019. He. For the whole year, he jumped off all social media. So
I remember.
And I remember on the 31st of December, the night before, I was thinking to myself, I don't know why this thought came across my head. Maybe a JME song came on at the party I was at. But I was like, oh shit, JME, like imagine he jumps on Twitter tomorrow. And I thought to myself, he's probably going to be active if he's on Twitter. Like, probably going to try to be seeing what people are on and stuff, like being back involved again. So I thought, if I tweet him, I wonder if he'll reply. So the next day I saw him tweeting as soon as I woke up. I was like, okay. I was like, let me at him and just see if he replies. So I added him. I was like, yo, can I use your flow? And he was like, of course. And I was like, oh shit, he replied. Okay. And then, yeah, like I say, I made the song, but it was like a JME themed song. It was his instrumental. It was If You Don't Know, which is obviously his thing as well. And then in the second verse, it was like, if you don't know, JME's where man got that flow. That's how the second verse starts. And then, yeah, I don't know if you knew this, but after that, when I actually dropped the snippet, I added JME in it, and he reposted it. And like,
oh, swear,
yeah, he reposted it. That for me was one of the biggest moments in my music. Like realizing that I might, like, if JME rates me, I might actually be good at this.
Sorry, I did see that. I did see because I remember he's like, "Oh, mum, I've made it." Like,
yeah, mum, I made it. Yeah. Oh, that was a mad thing.
Listen. If you don't know about big Bowdz by now, rude boy, check out the ting. Yeah, for my do grime, then I do rap, then I do grime, then I roll back and sing. I am the best MC my age. You already know that I do my ting. Prince of the game in the air to the phone like rude boy, soon come and be king. I said, if you don't know about big Bowdz by now, rude boy, check out the ting. Yeah, for my do grime, then I do rap, then I do grime, then I roll back and sing. I am the best MC my age. You already know that I do my ting. Prince of the game in the air to the phone like rude boy, soon come and be king. Look. Yo, what you telling me? Got your girl on my line and she belling me. Now I've got a flight out from Cardiff into Man City like a name's Craig Bellamy. You don't wanna a 1 and 1 again. We'll go bar for bar, you'll get spun again. I don't do 4-4s, I do 16s. Come to Man City, get gunned again. If you chat to me, then you're licked. But if you chat to T, then you're pissed. Man, try say that he's better than me. Turn around like, whose brethren's this? Man, can't chat to me about flow. Man, can't chat to me about rhymes. Man, can't chat to me about UK grime when the whole team's actually mine. I said, if you don't know about Big Bowdz by now, rude boy, then you're bluffing. Man, won't go bar for bar with me. Put a couple dead MCs in a coffin. Put a couple dead MCs in a grave. That's what wrong, you try get brave. Fuck all the haters, fuck all the pagans. Don't try bread, man, I'm on stage. Wait, man, try tell me to suck my mum. I said, wait, brother, who, what, me? What? You are not alone, me? You'll get banged in your face, my G. And if you get banged in your face by me, probably get banged in your face by T. Yeah, my name's Bowdz, but you can say Kane, cause you see a tombstone when I hit a tag team. Look, if you don't know about if you don't know, JME's where man got that flow. Switch them bars to fit my preference. Signed that off for the Harvard reference. Yeah, I took from JME, and I also took from AJT, and I also took from Stormzy. But now you're gonna hear.
So, I remember seeing that just beforehand, like the video got corrupted, so you had to reshoot a new one.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that. So we got a bunch of so we did a whole music video for it, and just as it was done editing, and this is when I learned a big lesson, is that never edit on the day that you're trying to release it. It was all very unprofessional and last minute, yeah. So I had edited it the night before, and then when I went to look back at the footage before I'd actually put it up on YouTube, it was all corrupt, and I was like, I haven't got enough time to make a whole new music video. So I had to just run out and record a one take for the whole song. And that's what I put in the description of the thing. I was like, basically, the actual music video was corrupt. So here's what I've got for now. Sorry that it's like not a proper music video, but this is all I got. But to be honest, I prefer it now, to be honest.
I was just gonna say, I think it's sick. It's a proper old school vibe. It's like, it reminds me of, like, you know, when in like Lord of the Mics where they're spitting in the dungeon, they're just going for it. Like, that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, literally, because bro. We did it like down the side of some alleyway near some bins, bro. Like, it was like proper ghetto shit, G. We just went anywhere we could find some sort of light shining down. That was just like secluded area. That was the first place we found. We turned the corner, backed out the camera, and it was just like, fuck it, just quickly get it done. So yeah.
What was the original idea?
The original idea was just a regular music video, just like, it was actually meant to be quite a comedic music video, actually, having said that. The original music video was quite funny, but I feel like it didn't properly capture the essence of like just the whole rawness of it, because that is a very, like, it was all just quite raw.
And how important do you think it is to be releasing freestyles as well as songs, and having that balance?
I'm glad you asked me that, because for me, freestyles are just, I prefer freestyles to songs. I prefer freestyles to actual music. Freestyles for me are just like the most important above anything. I'm always like, bro, at 10 million, 50 million followers, whatever, yeah, no matter how much money or fame or whatever, if I ever get there, I'm freestyles, it's happening. Like Stormzy, when he was doing his Wicked Skengman, for me that was just like the perfect set of freestyles, and to see it from 1 to 4 as well. I wish he still done them, to be honest with you, because they're fucking freestyles and cyphers as well. I just think they're too important to the culture, to be honest, and stuff like clashes and all of that stuff. Like, I just love all that shit. That's the grime in me talking, because like I say, I love grime, but yeah, freestyles, it's too important, man. Not even just for yourself, not even just for your own like capital and your own journey, but also just for the culture, innit? Like, freestyles is kind of just a way of, like, I feel like it's more close to the audience when you're freestyling, especially depending on the way the video is. And when Stormzy was dropping Wicked Skengman, it felt like he was doing it for his fans, not for himself. Yeah. And then when he releases, it would feel like that's his thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah. And
have you had a clash before?
No, not a proper clash. I haven't. Never. I've done it with a mandem and stuff, but not like a proper clash. No.
Would you?
I would say, like, for me, like, yes, but the journey I'm trying to go on musically, I don't think it fits.
Yeah.
I don't think it fits. So probably not, at least not at this stage. But like, my aim is, because grime isn't like, I don't want to say grime is dead, because I don't believe it's dead, but it's certainly asleep. It's grime is not what it used to be, basically. When I say that, like, that's been taken over by drill, and then like whatever you want to call this new version of drill, like pop drill or whatever. But grime is not what brings in like Capital and all of that stuff. Like I got more followers and Capital from Timo Werner than I did from all of the music I've done before combined, which is all grime. But I haven't lost my love for grime or nothing like that. And my plan is always, if I ever do make it somewhere and have a platform, to then bring grime up as opposed to like kind of put that ceiling over myself and like that be my limit. Because there's a lot of stigmas around grime now. Like the new generation see grime as an old man's thing, and it's like as much as sick as grime is, it's like for me it's the best thing that's ever come out of this country musically. As sick as grime is, it hasn't got the respect from the younger generation, the generation that are bringing in the money and are bringing in the stuff. So if my mentality is, if I become somebody that these kids want to be like and then show them grime, then they'll get gassed, and that's bringing a new audience to grime, as opposed to going straight into grime from not having a platform and then not being able to bring anybody else into it and shine any more light on it. Do you know what I'm saying? So grime is always a part of my plans, but as for now, no, I would say.
Would you describe...
In terms of...
Sorry, go on.
Just in terms of clashing.
Okay. Would you describe Timo Werner as grime?
No, I wouldn't. I don't really know what Timo Werner is, to be honest. It was intended to be drill, but it's not drill. Like, it started off as drill, but it's not really. It's like a lot... Because some people have been confused about it. Like, somebody... Like, a couple people have said, oh, this is a grime song. I've told them it's not. A couple of people have said this is a drill song, and I've told them it's not really. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. Add a couple other stuff on top of it, different genres. Just, bruv, it's kind of it's very different to a lot of other stuff. Because, like I say, drill is very focused on a certain lifestyle. Timo Werner kind of steps away from that lifestyle, and grime is focused on a sort of sound and tempo and feeling. And kind of step away from that, and it's kind of in the middle of both of them. So yeah, it's somewhere in the middle, but it's not a mix of the two. It's a bit confusing, but I don't know, to be honest. I would say if you had to typecast it to anything, I would probably say drill, only because the beat was intended to be a drill beat until we added them grime-ish elements to it. So I would say drill.
And would you describe yourself as a grime artist?
No, I'm not an artist to any specific genre. The music I just make music I want to make at the time. Like if I hear a bunch of, for example, if I'm listening to like Central C and I think he's hard, I'll take inspiration from Central C. Obviously I won't just copy Central C, but like I'll take inspiration and I'll be like, okay, that's a sound that I like, cool. And then if I'm in the studio the next day, I'll probably be like, I'll probably like find myself taking inspiration from that song. So like, because he does a certain, like, I guess it's drill, like a variation of drill, I'd probably be more inspired to do a drill song that day. Or if it's, like I say, if I'm listening to Kano and Skepta, then the next day I'll probably be more inspired to do grime. If I'm listening to Ed Sheeran, I might even do a love song. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I've got a load of different songs on my phone that I haven't released and that aren't finished and stuff, that are just like one's grime, one's drill, one's R&B, one's some sort of techno shit. Like, it's just, there's loads of shit. You'll see when it comes to me dropping albums, like the different tastes and stuff. But right now I'm kind of trying to build a solid fan base first, and you can't really jump too left and right with that, so you've got to kind of stick in a certain direction.
So how important do you think it is to, experiment with different sounds as opposed to maybe just like finding a winning formula and just sticking with that?
I think it depends what type of artist you are. I think if you're, like I say, because I'm not too focused on image so much. Like, I don't need my image to be I'm a bad boy and all that stuff. Like, my image is I'm me, and I'm always going to be me, and you're either going to like me for it or you're not going to like me for it. But either way, I'm still going to be in your face. You're still going to hear my music, so you're going to have to get used to it one way or another. And that's me. I'm not concerned about what people think about me in the respect that, like, oh, he's this, he's that, like, oh, he's not a bad man. I never claimed to be a bad boy. Do you know what I'm saying? I never claimed to be this and that. So like I say, everything in my music is true, and I'm honest with it. I guess the kind of like vibe I give off is being like like quite just a cheeky guy, like just making music, being a bit cheeky in his music and all of that stuff, and being a bit like on the line of, oh, that's a bit cheeky, mate, and all that stuff. That's what I give off, and I'm happy with that, innit? So I think for me, I can get away with jumping left and right a little bit and experimenting on music, because like I've not typecasted myself to being a certain character or being a certain person. Whereas I feel like if somebody was strictly a driller, like proper drill, like when they're talking about doing the most maddest of mad things, they're a bit more like, you can't drop 10 drill songs and all of a sudden drop a love song. Obviously you can, it depends on how the love song is, but like I'm talking about like you can't drop like an Adele or someone like you remix. Do you know what I'm saying? Like LD, for example, he did it when he dropped his EP he dropped, I think it was an EP, and that was fucking hard. Every song on that is fucking wavy. And there was two songs that were like love songs, I want to say it like that, but the one with Young Ads, and it's like he's a driller but he branched out correctly. He did it right. He did it because you still capture the element of him, but he's experimented and he's moved away from just strictly drill. He's like, so yeah, I think it just depends on where you are in your career, but I do think experimenting with music is always a good idea.
This is Iman Lake, and you're listening to the Get to Know podcast.
And something that you said, going back to when you said, "Oh yeah, if I listen to Central C, you know, I like him. I won't just straight up copy him." Yeah. What are your views on, say, people like MCs borrowing other people's flow? Like, you know how you asked it me, but like, what are your thoughts on it? If someone's adopting another MC style,
the grime in me, because grime is a little bit different to the rest of it. So, for example, with the Central C thing, if I was to just go and copy his flow, it's not really. It's not the culture to do that. It's not in the culture. But grime has always been in the culture, in clashes and stuff, to use people's flows against them and bars against them. So even when I was doing grime, I was a big fan of using people's flows but crediting them for it. I would never claim it to be my own. And I think that's the important bit. Never claim that it's your flow when it's clearly not. I would always go... I would always mention, if I used a flow, or more time, I would mention after using a flow, whose flow it was. So I remember I don't know if you've heard the Lights Out freestyle on my YouTube, but there's a bit where I go 860s, 24s, 48, 64s, 96s, and that's Chip's bar from the tune he made with Stormzy. I can't remember what it's called now. It's like, hear this, that's it. And so his bar goes 8, 16, 24s, 48, 64s, 96s. Chip's got too many bars, you can't risk this. I think that's what he says. I don't remember. But I said 8, 16, 24s, 48, 64s, 96s. Chip's got too many bars and I nicked it. So I just wanted to credit him and show people, like, that's not my bar. I just think it's hard and I want to bread him for it. And then I went on to my own flow. Because if you listen to my music, you'll see I do use a lot of other flows. Like, it's all like, it's not stealing it. I'm not claiming it to be mine, and I'm not like, it's none of that. It's just appreciating it and showing love for it and being like da. So again, in the JME song, it's if you don't know JME's when I got that flow, and then something about also borrowed from AJT and Stormzy and Skepta, like in that whole verse, like somebody even made a joke about it saying man done his bibliography in the tune. It was like, fair enough, it's kind of jokes, because I'm all for crediting the people that you're inspired by. So I think it's calm if you're doing it in that respect. I think in grime it's different to anything else. As long as you're not claiming it to be your own, I don't see it as a problem.
So this year, you know, a lot of rappers, or a few rappers, have had, you know, really good mainstream success. You know, Heady One, J Hus, Nines, they've all had #1 albums. What does that do for you as an up and coming artist? That's
just inspiring, man. It's just a big inspiration to see people from ends like mine, just like building together, growing together. Like the scene now, people that once came from nothing are now making enough noise to get the top of the whole charts in the UK. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that there is just a mad thing. So it kind of just shows you, it gives you more hope, really, as an upcoming artist, just knowing that like it's not even like, it's not impossible. Like it's not even close to impossible. It's happened more than once now. Like this is the best time to be doing what I'm doing.
And why do you think so many projects from the scene are enjoying so much success these days?
I mean, there's a big rabbit hole you can go into with that question. I think I think it's just become cool now to be part of that sort of scene, or be that type of person. Like I say, like we're just making so much noise now. Like I don't really like using the term urban, but the urban scene, it's just making a lot of noise. It's becoming way more desirable. People have like realized that like there's money here. There's like, labels are picking up now as well, because they just know like you can make money off of this scene now. Like it's not underground anymore. Like they can't hold us down anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? So they had no choice but to let us in, and now we're in #1 albums. Every time somebody wants to drop something, we're smashing it. We as in people from this scene, obviously, not we as in, you know, I'm not trying to say I'm with them yet, but you know what I'm saying.
So it's funny you mentioned labels, because for me, growing up, it was always getting a record deal was kind of like the be all and end all. It's like, yeah, I'm aiming to get a record deal. But now you've got artists doing it independently. Like Stormzy achieved a lot of success independently. AJ Tracy's killing it. He's independent. I think Dave as well.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on potentially getting a record deal or staying unsigned and independent?
I've always said to myself, like, if someone's trying to sign you to a record deal, if someone's trying to sign you to a record deal, it's because they know that you'll make the money. They're trying to profit off you, and if labels know that you'll make their money, then you must be able to make money yourself without their help. I think personally, I would always prefer to stay independent, just because like I have control over my own career. But if there was an offer too good to refuse, I'm not going to blacklist it. I'm not going to blacklist ever signing a deal. But I would definitely prefer the independent route. And I also think it means more as well if you do it independently. I mean, having said that, you never know, because obviously if you work hard enough for a big deal, you can't judge someone for taking a deal. I never would. Like I say, if they handed me the same deal they handed H, I'm signing on that paper. So yeah, man, it just depends. It just depends. But unless the offer is literally like too good to refuse, then I wouldn't want to sign a deal. Like, I wouldn't sign for anything less than, I'm going to say 6 figures, and not even just like low end 6 figures. I'm talking like mid to high end 6 figures, because and that's even just now. Let alone if I can make it further in my career and get bigger and bigger. Because I have a lot of belief in myself. I see myself going far. I know what it takes. I know I've got the talent. I know I've got the charisma. So I'll get there. Like I say, I'll get there by force, one way or another. Yeah, it's just a label can either, like, if it's, like I say, if it's not too good to refuse, then I'll refuse.
Oh, good man. Now, you've kind of spoke to me about who your top MCs are, like maybe full time. Who would you say are your top 5 UK rappers right now?
Right now? Okay, that's a big one. Right now, Central C is up there. This is no order. Central C is up there. He's fucking wavy. Right now, that's a question, you know. I'm gonna say Skepta, because Skepta, I just can't replace Skepta on any sort of list. Like, I still listen to Skepta now, innit? Any era that he was rapping in. Skepta's there. Heady One has to be in there. He just keeps releasing fucking bangers. Young T and Bowdz, I cannot forget about them. I fucking love them. They're fucking wavy.
They're hard, man.
Well, I've been following them from way all the way at the beginning. And fifth, I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of a fifth. Maybe I'll say H, because I really admire how he's managed his career and like the route he's took, and I think he's getting way better at his pop stuff as well. Because I knew H a little bit before he blew, and he was doing grime, and he was proper hard. I've really rated him. And obviously, when you make the transition from grime and drill and underground stuff to pop, like, it can feel a little bit generic. But I feel like he's really managed it, and he's moved away from just being a pop star and be like he's been able to be himself through his pop star, and that's what I really like about what H is doing, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree, man. He's and like yourself in that respect. I think you're both very authentic people, and it always shines through, man.
I appreciate that. That's the aim, man. Just always just like with him, I see it every single time I see a video of him, I see a music video. He's just being himself. Like same with him, he's not claiming to come through and blast up a man's face and all that stuff. He's just being himself. He's a cheeky lad from Manchester. You know, he's a very likable guy, and he's just being himself all the time. So yeah, like I say, that's what I like about him the most, is that you can see that in everything he does, whether it's music, whether it's this, whether it's that.
And do you listen to anyone that people maybe would be surprised that you listen to?
Oh yeah, my music taste is crazy. I could show you my phone right now. I range from like the darkest, most vile drill lyrics to Florence and the Machine. Or 80s pop or 70s music. Like I listen to everything, bro. I listen to jazz music, I listen to classic music, like everything. That's where I get so many of my inspirations from. You'll see in the music I'm releasing, like one of the songs I've got next, the instrumental is actually a sample of a mariachi band. It's just
really?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like it's just, there's so many different artists I listen to.
Sick. I feel like as you get older, people are just more open about like having that eclectic range of music, because when you're younger, say you're like 13, 14, it's like, oh, what you listen to, rap, grime, and like you'd be embarrassed to have something to have like some 80s band on your phone. But as you get older, like you realize now it's cool to have loads of different tastes.
Oh, I take so much pride in it now, man. You have to.
All right, now I couldn't end this conversation without mentioning Arsenal. I know you're a keen Arsenal fan. I can see the shirts up on the wall. What are your thoughts on everything that's going on right now? What needs to change?
Oh, put me in charge. Put me in charge. I'll sit around, man. There's so much that needs to be changed. Well, first thing that needs to be changed is just the attitude of the whole club. Second thing that needs to be, I don't know about Arteta, to be honest with you. I can't. You know, he's a bit questionable for me. I want to believe in him, but I just feel like the way he's managing players, it's just not good enough for me. My management is just, he's throwing players under the bus, and like he's starting Bellerin over Maitland-Niles, and I just don't get it, because Maitland-Niles is clearly the better player, and it's just like, I don't know, man. I don't know, but I do have a bit of hope. I do think it's just a shit start to the season. Because we saw at the back end of last season how well we were playing under Arteta, and I do think that's possible to make a permanent thing. I just hope that it happens, like we make it a permanent thing, because otherwise, at a club like Arsenal, there's not enough time to be learning the trade. You either come in and fix it or you're gone. So
yeah, it's strange, man, because things look so promising at the end of last season. Obviously, you won the FA Cup, and then, start of this season, you kind of won the Community Shield, even though it's only the Community Shield, but still, and things. Say again.
Yeah. Beating Liverpool is always an achievement in itself. So.
I'm a Liverpool fan, so let's not go too much into that. But things look so promising. So why do you think it's gone so wrong now? Because he's had a transfer window. We brought in a couple of good players.
I think it's because there's the problems at Arsenal are deeper than just what's on the pitch, man. It's an identity thing. Like there's just a lot going left at the minute. It's a little bit of a crisis, to be honest with you. But I don't know. I do think, because our squad is not as dead as it's made out to be by our fans. Like a lot of people say we have a worse squad than teams like West Ham. That's not true. That's not true. If you look at our club, like we have players like Leno, who is a top goalkeeper, Partey, who's a world-class midfielder, Gabriel, who will go on to be a world-class centre-back, Aubameyang, who is a world-class established forward. Like we've got more than enough good players in the squad to make more of what we're doing now. It's just we're not one. We're not together as a football team should be. There's no team at the minute. It's just football players playing on the pitch together.
Yeah, I hear that. Like what you said about fans saying the team's it's not as good as. Sorry, you're saying the team's better than what fans making out. I 100% agree with that, because you've got like Leicester and Southampton in the top four. Like, come on, Arsenal's squad is easily better than theirs.
Yeah. Maybe not Leicester. I can't lie. Maybe not Leicester. I think that bit leveled there. Leicester have a good squad. Vardy, world class forward. Maddison, they have a creator in their team. This is what we're missing because we decided not to play Bowdz to Ozil, but I'm not involved in that. They've got that Soyuncu, who's top 5 centre backs in the league. Kasper Schmeichel, who's a banging goalkeeper. So they're the same as us, really. Their squad is probably the same sort of strength as Arsenal is. Maybe we probably are a little bit stronger, but they've just got a manager that they can trust and a system that works for them. We haven't found that yet. So.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Get to Know podcast.
All right. And so what we're going to do now, just to wrap things up, we're going to do the trivia section. So as an artist and a grime enthusiast, your topic is grime. So 5 questions. So we'll see how you get on.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, cool. First question. What album won the 2016 Mercury Prize? Was it A, Kano, Made in the Manor, B, Skepta, Konnichiwa, or C, Giggs, Landlord?
Made in the Manor.
It was actually Skepta, Konnichiwa.
I knew it, man. I knew it. Made in the Manor won something, but I don't remember what it was.
Oh, it was a sick album, that was. Bro, that was a good year, man.
Made in the Manor 2016 was a banging year for music. Best year for music ever. Yeah, Made in the Manor is actually my favourite album of all time.
Swear.
Mm-hmm. My number 1 album ever.
Bro, yeah, that was a good year, man. I remember I went to Festival that year, and those 3 artists were all there. Bro, it was sick. Yeah, I remember Thursday night, Giggs was there. Friday night, Skepta. Sunday afternoon, Kano. I remember Kano performing Made in the Manor. Like, it was a banging day. The sun was shining, bro. The vibes are just, bro, take me back, man. All right, second question. Dizzy Rascal released Boy in the Corner in what year? A, 2003, B, 2004, C, 2005.
Do you know what's mad? I thought it was 2001. Boy in the Corner. It's not 5. It's either 3 or 4. I'm gonna say 3. 2003.
That is correct. It was 2003.
God, I needed to get one right. Okay, I'll take it.
All right. So next question. What song won Song of the Year at this year's GRM Rated Awards? Is it A, Tion Wayne, I Don't Know, featuring Stormzy and Dutch Valley, B, D-Block Europe, Home Pussy, or C, Skepta, Young Ads, and Chip, Ways?
Oh, was it one of them 3? I don't know why I thought it was Young T and Bugsy. Oh, the GRM ones. I'm talking about the Mobos. Damn it. So it's out of Ways. What are the 3 options? It's Ways,
Home Pussy, or I Don't Know.
I'm going to say, I don't know.
That is correct. Well played.
Okay, good. Okay.
All right. Next question. Bradley Wright Phillips famously clashed which Premier League footballer on all of the mics? Was it A, Wilfred Zaha, B, Jason Punchin, or C, Yannick Balassi?
Something's telling me it's Yannick Bolasie, but I'm so certain it's Jason Punchin. I'm gonna say Jason Punchin.
It was actually Yannick Bolasie.
Oh, I should have just gone with my gut, man. I don't know why I did that. I remember seeing something about that as well. Oh, this is a nightmare.
All right. Now, last question. Who said these lyrics? You ain't got love in North, West, or South, and I'm an East boy, you're a Chief boy. Is it A, D-E-E, B, Kano, or C, Wiley?
Okay, no, I already know that one. Come on, you can't mess with me.
I don't even need to tell you you got that one right. All right, man. 3 out of 5, respectable. Very respectable.
I should have. You know what? I count the Bolasie one as a half point. I count it as a half point. I knew it. I knew it deep down.
All right, man. Yo, that was sick. Just before we go, what do we have? What do you have coming up for us to look forward to?
2021, we're taking over. I'm gonna leave it there. That's all I'm gonna say. If you heard of me in 2020, you're gonna know me in 2021. If you haven't heard of me in 2020, you're gonna hear me in 2021. Next year, the stuff that we've got coming, just wait on it. That's all I'll say. A lot of music. That's all I'll say. That's what you got to look forward to. A lot of music.
Good, man. I can't wait, man. I'm excited to hear what's coming from you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Obviously, Timo Werner was banging. Like, other tracks, people need to go and check those out. Check out the YouTube freestyles for days. And yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes out. And I'm excited.
I appreciate that, my guy. Thanks for having me on the show, man.
No problem, man. You're a great guest, man. And yeah, big up yourself.
I love for that, bro.
All right, safe.
You're listening to the Get to Know podcast.
Okay, so that was Bowdz. Big him up, man. I really enjoyed that interview. Keep an eye out for his music. You can follow him on Twitter and Instagram. It's Bowdz_. That's BOWDZ_. Again, that will be in the notes. Alright, so before we finish, I have another show to recommend for you. And this show is Ozark. Ozark is definitely in my top 10 shows. Like, I love this show. Can't recommend it enough. So basically what happens is a man's business partner gets into trouble with the mafia, and Marty ends up moving to the Ozarks to launder money for them. Now, people say it's a bit of a slow burner, but personally I disagree with that, because in the first episode a man gets thrown off a 5th floor balcony, and it's like, come on, like, what more do you want? But yeah, man, check it out. You can find that on Netflix. There are 3 series. I think it's 10 episodes per series, and the episodes are about an hour. Sick show, man. They've announced that the next series is actually going to be the last one. Mixed feelings about that, to be honest, because I'm down for a show that knows when to end and doesn't drag out. But I feel like this show just has more legs to it, man. Like, it could go on for another few series. The writing is incredible. Yeah, man, sick show. You need to watch that. Alright, man, that's it from me. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'll be back next week with another one, so keep an eye out for that. Follow the show on Twitter, it's Get to Know Pod. On Instagram, that is Get to Know Podcast _. And I hope to see you again soon. Once again, shout out Jurgen Klopp, shout out Larry David, big up Sadio Mane, rest in peace Ned Stark. Safe.